It's Friday, and we've some great stories to end your week here on Ag AM in Kansas. Here's what's coming up.
Today, Cindy Campbell shares with us the advantages of artificial insemination and fixed-time breeding protocol. Next, Eric Atkinson visits with Charles and Anita Hummel, one of K-State's 2012 Master Farmer and Master Farm Homemaker couples. See how they met, started their operation, and how important they consider their involvement in 4-H to be. Then, on our Healthy Yard segment, learn the best way to fertilize fruit trees, what kind of fertilizer to use, and when to get started.
Closed captioning brought to you by Kansas Soybean Commission, the Soybean Checkoff, Progress, powered by Kansas farmers.
This segment is brought to you by Roy Fry Western Lifestyles, dressing Northeast Kansas their Western best for almost 60 years.
If your opinion of artificial insemination is been there, done that, you may want to give it another look.
Well, there's no question that I think fixed-timed AI has certainly got easier. And so the first point is to certainly consider fixed-timed artificial insemination, especially folks that have used AI in the past that have never tried fixed-timed AI because they're a little afraid that seeing a cow in heat, they need to AI her at that time.
New protocols and synchronization methods have eased the pressure on cattlemen. Fixed AI does not rely on heat detection.
And what that does is for the average producer who does not know how to artificially inseminate cows, what he can do is he can schedule somebody from an AI company way in advance to be at his farm on a specific day at a specific time, and that AI technician can AI the cows.
Pregnancy rates vary by herd and environment.
We've found that fixed-time insemination has worked so well in heifers and cows with the new protocols that we've got, where we can get lots of cattle pregnant on the first day of your breeding season. I mean, some people say, well, I'm not quite completely satisfied with 50 or 60% of my females pregnant, but we're talking about the first day of your breeding season, and that takes on a different picture for you.
Florida research shows that cows exposed to AI have a $49 advantage compared to those in natural service groups.
And the main reason for that is it kick-started cows that were not cycling to become pregnant sooner, and by the end of the breeding season we had more cows that became pregnant.
AI-sired calves often have many advantages too. The new technologies allow more of them to carry the genetics of bulls that have the total package.
So it's just kind of a stepping stone of how the genetics are being utilized more and more, and being able to incorporate things like carcass traits to be able to be utilized so that we can harvest cattle with outstanding carcass merit in order to be utilized to enhance the eating quality so that our producers and consumers enjoy that benefit.
I'm Cindy Campbell.
Ag AM in Kansas is brought to you in part by the Kansas Soybean Commission, the Soybean Checkoff, Progress, powered by Kansas farmers.
Now another gardening tip with Annette Jackson.
Early spring is the best time to plant many of the cool season garden vegetables for your dinner table, finishing in just 4 to 12 weeks. Plant homegrown cabbage, cauliflower, broccoli, Brussels sprouts, lettuce, and onion plants in your garden or container. Homegrown, hardy, and healthy plants are now available at Jackson's.
Use Fertilome Gardener Special Fertilizer for your garden, or Fertilome Blooming and Rooting Water Soluble for your containers for best production.
We've been using the Multi-Min on our donor cows, and after we started using it on them, we've seen a definite increase in grade number 1 embryos. I like the results that I get using Multi-Min with the AI conception rate.
Their minerals not up to snuff, you're gonna have problems, and I definitely think Multi-Min is good for, general healthiness of the cattle.
We think Multi-Min more than pays for itself.
Tar Waters has what you need for all seasons for around the farm and home. Working, hunting, growing, feeding, snow removal, even fun for the kids. And a service department with experienced techs to help keep your equipment in top running condition. Tar Waters has a huge selection and the best prices. Tar Water Farm and Home, Family owned and operated since 1978. They have what you need.
Valley Vet Supply is devoted to providing information and professional quality products at reasonable prices.
ValleyVet.com, ValleyVet.com, Valley Vet Supply.
American innovation is being driven in places you might not expect by people like Brent Hayek, an Oklahoma family farmer, who recently set a world land speed record in a Ford Super Duty pickup truck powered by renewable B20 biodiesel. Advanced performance is here, now, putting America on the fast track to more jobs and energy independence. Biodiesel, America's advanced biofuel.
Roy Fry Western Lifestyles brings the cowboy or cowgirl out in all of us. With a huge selection of must-have items, it doesn't matter if you're shopping for your horse, picking up some Western accessories to add that rustic charm to your home, or simply treating yourself. The knowledge and expertise to dress you your Western best is right here at Roy Fry Western Lifestyles, Highway 24 and Kansas Avenue in Topeka.
Soil is the life of a farm, and for 25 years, SureCrop Liquid Crop Nutrition has helped growers produce abundant quality crops while preserving and improving the soils they steward. SureCrop offers complete soil and plant analysis with cropping recommendations, delivery direct to your on-farm storage, and quality crop nutrition custom blended for your field. Choose SureCrop for the assurance of excellence for your soil. Call today or visit their website for more information. Ag AM in Kansas is brought to you in part by K-State Research and Extension. Knowledge for life.
Since 1960, Charles and Anita Hummel have carved out a prosperous and fulfilled farm life several miles south of Chapman in Dickinson County. Charles grew up on the farmstead that continues to be the hub of the operation, eventually taking over from his dad Wilbur. And history has repeated itself as Charles and Anita's son Roger, now Roger's son Ryan as well, are major cogs in the operation. The Hummels are pillars of the area, made up of several small communities, including Woodbine and Lyona, the latter the home of the historic church established by Charles' ancestors in 1859, and to which Charles and Anita devote considerable time and energy. Charles talks about how the Hummels got started at their present location. You two both grew up right here in this area, the Hope area, right?
Yes.
I grew up in the little city of Hope, and
I grew up right here. My folks moved over here when I was about 3 years old, and I moved here in 41, and I've been on this farm ever since.
The origins were crops and cattle?
Yeah.
Hereford cattle.
Hereford cattle back then. My son come along, and he started crossbreeding, and my dad didn't know what to think of that. Well, I didn't either, because we was getting all colors and rainbow out there. But when we started figuring out the gain we was making, Dad figured it out right away that that was the thing to do.
Anita, you and Charles met where?
At a youth rally at Chapman, Kansas.
And then you were in Item and got together fairly quickly?
Yeah.
We talked a moment ago about the cattle operation and the changes it's undergone over the years, but you've steadily tried to grow this place, right?
One of the best management decisions we made was when we brought Roger into the farm, because he just took that mantle on and did what needed to be done. You know, he just stepped right in and grew that cow herd for us and gave us the means to pay for that.
Prior to Roger getting involved, though, you were a balance of wheat, hay?
Wheat, hay,
cattle.
Corn once in a while, not very often. Cattle. Cattle's our main thing.
Charles, did you try to encourage new ideas with your dad over the years then, much as Roger has now?
I was the one that really wanted to rent more ground, and Dad went along with it 100%.
Our theme has always been, you take care of the farm, and the farm will take care of you. And I think that's true to this very day. Sometimes our decisions, you know, we make decisions, And we don't always agree, you know, that passing it from one generation to the other is not as easy as it looks. But we try to do what we think is best for the common good.
Wheat, alfalfa is still the mainstays?
Oh, yeah. Yeah, alfalfa especially,
and across,
for the cow herd.
Yeah, the cow herd is very important.
Staying with the cow herd for a moment, you've embraced technology, AI, and there's embryo transfer involved to a certain degree now as well, is that right?
Yeah,
that's absolutely
and
right.
that's all Roger, my son, takes care of all that, and he AIs everything. And he's got low birth weights and high gain.
This is the fast track to more jobs and America's energy independence. Advanced performance is here, now. Biodiesel, America's advanced biofuel.
Purple Wave is a proud supporter of the Kansas FFA through the Bid for Blue program. Purple Wave donates a portion of the proceeds earned on certain ag assets to the Kansas FFA. Winning bidders can designate a Kansas chapter to receive the donation. To date, Purple Wave is proud to have donated over $10,000. Visit purplewave.com to learn more and to place bids on Bid for Blue assets. Purple Wave Auction. Straight, simple, sold.
Golf Week calls it the best course you can play in Kansas. But once you play, you'll want to stay. Go for it. Firekeeper Golf Course at Prairie Band Casino and Resort is just north of Topeka off Highway 75. Our stay and play package is worth the trip. Luxury hotel room, green fees, and golf cart for two, starting at just $169.
Prairie Band Casino and Resort. Go for it!
Ag AM in Kansas is brought to you in part by K-State Research and Extension. Knowledge for life.
Let's talk a bit about your community involvement as well here, for that's really a hallmark of your entire family, to be quite honest about it. Charles, for one, you have served on the local watershed board for, is this right, 45 years?
Yeah,
I think that's
pretty
right.
close to it, yeah. Yeah, it's Lions Creek Watershed Board. And
this also illustrates, though, not only your civic commitment to conservation, but you employ conservation routinely on this place.
Oh yeah. All of our ground that we own is terraced and waterwayed. And
something we didn't mention earlier, ought to mention it. Anita, on top of everything else, you worked as the office manager for the co-op for 32 years.
I did. I cannot believe it myself. But it was a great job. You know, I met a lot of people. The community, I worked in a wonderful community. People were good to me, and it was a good job.
That really illustrates a concept that both of you are strong about, and that is maintaining rural communities and finding any means to do so. And you're putting that to work here, it sounds.
Especially 4-H. 4-H is a wonderful thing, a wonderful opportunity for the kids to learn kind of how to work. And
well, actually, Roger learned about crossbreeding cattle
by
showing cattle when he was in the 4-H club.
It's obvious that both of you are very much aligned with church activities, and that's extremely important to you at the local small community church.
Yeah.
The church was established in 1859.
1859, that's where my folks went, down there.
And your grandparents.
And my grandparents went to Lyona. And then we were MYF.
Oh yeah, MYF sponsors. We've served on the Board of Trustees, Church Council.
Now, the ice cream making, has that been a church activity or something?
Yeah,
like that?
yes. We have a groundhog supper, Groundhog's Day.
500 and some people.
Almost.
How many gallons?
48 gallons of ice cream. And I took an old gearbox off of a Gale field cutter and a 3/4 electric motor, and we run both freezers, and we put a nail in the hole where the bolt used to be. And when that shears, the ice cream's generally done.
Let's visit a bit about the family members, and we've already mentioned multiple times here. Roger, who is the active operator, by and large now, he's largely taken over your place. But this has been a strong working partnership, it sounds, as it's built over the years.
Yeah, well, he took over, and he's improved our cow herd tremendously. by the weight. And well, for instance, now we don't hardly have any calves from last year left on the farm. They've all been sold at 800 and 900 weight. We had some Herefords this year that he separated them and put them in a separate pen, and I want to know why he did that. But I kept my mouth shut, and finally I kind of figured it out because I was watching them, and he was graining them, and he sold them here about a week ago, and they were 900 pounds.
So it's a combination of experience and new ideas that is meshed together well for the both of you.
And of course,
Ag AM in Kansas is brought to you in part by Kansas Pork Association, assisting producers and informing consumers.
I'm Dennis Tebow. My wife and I, Kathy, are the owners of Wolf Creek Cattle Company. We have grown to approximately 70 bulls.
I'm Reese Arnold. I'm the livestock manager at Wolf Creek Cattle Company. You know, these are not just like normal cattle. These cattle, they're hauled anywhere from, 8 to 10 hours a day across the United States and asked to perform. The Multi-Man 90 keeps them kind of level. It maintains and balances their system. The stress level is less when, when everything's right and working right, then they're working right.
Dr. Dan here. Whether I'm driving up and down the roads covering the state of Kansas or I'm getting between Riley and Manhattan for my job, I'm driving a Ford truck. I'd like you to come out and visit my friends here at Dick Edwards Ford. They have a truck that'll suit your needs, whether you're looking for power with a Power Stroke diesel, or if you're looking for fuel efficiency with the new EcoBoost engine, they got a truck that's just right for you. They're located 2 miles east of the Town Center Mall in Manhattan, Kansas, and they'll bend over backwards to help you. And I'll see you down the road.
American innovation is being driven in places you might not expect by people like Brent Hayek, an Oklahoma family farmer, who recently set a world land speed record in a Ford Super Duty pickup truck powered by renewable B20 biodiesel. Advanced performance is here, now, putting America on the fast track to more jobs and energy independence. Biodiesel, America's advanced biofuel.
Ag AM in Kansas is brought to you in part by K-State Research and Extension, knowledge for life.
We've gone to no-till, and that's one of the major purchases here in just last year was a tractor and an air seeder.
Talk of Roger's family as well, wife and 4 grandkids on that side, right?
Roger's married to Sheila, and Sheila is a para at the Enterprise location of the Chapman School District. And then his oldest son is Ryan, and Ryan's 21, and he is now this year coming back to help his dad on the farm and give Chuck a little chance to kind of back away from the everyday routine of the farm. And then there's a daughter. Roger has a daughter, Jill, and she's a freshman at Kansas State University and just loves it. She's doing good, and we're thrilled for her. And then he has a son, Tyler, who is a sophomore at Chapman High School, and he's active in basketball, and actually he's been in a play last fall, and he's going to be in a play this spring. And then there's another son, Kyle, and he's 12 and a 7th grader at Chapman's Middle School, and right now he's playing basketball.
And your daughter Robin and her family live very close as well. They're not regularly engaged in the farm per se, but they're right here, right?
They are. And of course the cattle are over at Robin's place around her house a lot. She's married to Darren Volkman.
Darren Volkman.
And together they are in a business, heating and air conditioning, called KVK Incorporated. She's the office manager and he's the president of the company. They have 2 children, and Justin is 18. He's a senior at Chapman High School, and he will go to K-State next year. And then she has Robin and Darren have a daughter, Kiana, and she's an 8th grader at Chapman Middle School.
How important is it to the 2 of you that you're seeing the operation extend further generations?
It's very important, because I would hate to have to sell this place, and I probably would have to if it wasn't for Roger and Ryan coming along.
We couldn't manage it.
We couldn't handle it like it is being handled right now, for sure.
Well, I don't think we ever thought anything else. We've always thought that the farm would go to the next generation, and that's been our goal, is that we pass it on.
Last thing here, when you found out that you were named Master Farmer, Master Farm Homemaker for this current class, what was your reaction? What are your thoughts?
We are honored that the county nominated us. We realize how important extension is and has been to farmers. And so to be selected as one of the master farmers is an honor.
Well, congratulations to the two of you for a recognition richly deserved, and thank you.
Thank you.
Charles and Anita Hummel of Dickinson County, Kansas Master Farmer, Master Farm Homemaker, class of 2012.
Ag AM in Kansas is brought to you in part by Kansas Pork Association, assisting producers and informing consumers.
Purple Wave is a proud supporter of the Kansas FFA through the Bid for Blue program. Purple Wave donates a portion of the proceeds earned on certain ag assets to the Kansas FFA. Winning bidders can designate a Kansas chapter to receive the donation. To date, Purple Wave is proud to have donated over $10,000. Visit purplewave.com to learn more and to place bids on Bid for Blue assets. Purple Wave Auction. Straight, simple, sold.
Golf Week calls it the best course you can play in Kansas. But once you play, you'll want to stay. Go for it. Firekeeper Golf Course at Prairie Band Casino and Resort is just north of Topeka off Highway 75. Our stay and play package is worth the trip. Luxury hotel room, green fees, and golf cart for two, starting at just $169.
Prairie Band Casino and Resort. Go for it!
Valley Vet Supply is devoted to providing information and professional quality products at reasonable prices.
ValleyVet.com, ValleyVet.com, Valley Vet Supply.
This segment is brought to you by the Kansas Association of Wheat Growers and the Kansas Wheat Commission. Together, we are Kansas Wheat.
When fertilizing in our home landscapes, we shouldn't forget about our fruit trees. Typically, there are several clues we can use to determine how much fertilizer we may need to apply. The first clue would obviously be to use a soil test, and that would be the most accurate way to determine the fertilizer needs for a tree such as this cherry tree. But there are also other clues we can use, such as the look of the tree. Healthy trees should actually have large green leaves. They should have the fruit set on and developing normally. And there also should be a relatively few cracks and damage areas on the bark and the trunk of the tree. If a tree is showing symptoms such as yellow leaves, small leaves, poor fruit set, and a lot of trunk damage, it may be an indication that we are lacking in some nutrients. The best time to fertilize established fruit trees is when they enter the bloom period. And typically, we're most concerned with the nitrogen in the soil. So in general, a lawn fertilizer, such as a high nitrogen fertilizer that's available at most garden centers, will work just fine to fertilize a fruit tree. We just need to be aware that we can't use anything that has any herbicide or pre-emergent in it, as this may damage the health of the tree. Now for a tree like this that's probably 4 to 5 years old, we're going to actually use about a cup of high nitrogen fertilizer. Now for a new tree that's just been planted, we don't need to use near that much, probably only a quarter of a cup of the high nitrogen fertilizer. So what we'll do is simply walk around this tree and trying to keep the fertilizer out from the trunk, but spread in between the trunk and the edge of the tree. Once we've finished our application of fertilizer underneath the tree, we need to go ahead and water that in and then wait till the next year and evaluate once again to see if our tree may need another application.
For more information, visit your local extension office or visit our website at kansasgreenyards.org.
Closed captioning brought to you by Kansas Soybean Commission. The Soybean Checkoff Progress, powered by Kansas farmers.
We hope you've enjoyed today's program. We're here every morning, Monday through Friday. If you missed part of today's broadcast, you can see it on agaminkansas.com. Eric Atkinson here from K-State Research and Extension.